Holy cow, what am I watching? This is the best thing I've ever seen. For the first time in forever. Or to be more precise, over 10 years ago. This beloved franchise has made a comeback unlike anything that I've ever seen before. No more boring or wooden dialogue. No more sleep-inducing discussions about Borderlands tax disputes. Or Jar Jar. And green screen and blue screen studios are still used, but not as much as they were in the prequels. And the most important thing of all, no more metachlorian nonsense! Thank you, J.J. Abrams. Thank you so much for bringing this franchise back to its former glory. Now, to let you know that this movie is really good, but it's not flawless, because face it, not every movie is. Now, I have grown up with the original trilogy, and The Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies of all time. Compared to the first film, A New Hope, we get a better understanding here of what the Force really is and its origins. Luke Skywalker going to Dagobah and meeting Master Yoda, who teaches him about all the ways of the Force, and one of the greatest lines ever uttered in a film. Do or do not. There is no try. And Return of the Jedi was good too, but not the best Star Wars film, and a shout out to my mom, her favorite character was the Ewok Wicket. Some people out there cannot just get over those fuzzy, cuddly little bears. And don't even get me started on the prequels. Seriously, what could I possibly say about the prequels that hasn't been said millions of times already over a decade? So for this new chapter, it's going to be really hard not to spoil it because, yeah. Since the downfall of the Empire in the last film, the followers of Darth Sidious has risen from the ashes and they have formed the First Order and they have built something that is far greater than the old Death Star. An entire planet built into a gigantic weapon, the greatest that the universe has ever seen. And it has a gigantic laser that destroys not just one planet, but multiple planets at once. And that idea is cool, but it doesn't seem that original. But you know what? I'll give it a pass. And then we go to a desert planet that looks like Tatooine, but isn't. Here, during the night, is where we're introduced to our first main character, Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac. Now, the first thing that came to mind when I saw this actor was a young Bruce Campbell, because he almost looks just like him. I can see that this actor has a lot of potential, because he does such a good job at playing this role. And you know what is also awesome is that the stormtroopers are all individual humans, no more clones. And what's really fresh about this is that it shows something I've never seen in a stormtrooper, showing that he is human. That is such a brilliant idea. This is where we're introduced to our other character, Finn, played by John Boyega, showing such a great sense of remorse and fear to a stormtrooper that I've never seen before, and it makes you relate to him immediately. I just love that concept. And of course, Star Wars cannot be without its share of villains. And that's where we're introduced to this new character, Kylo Ren, who's trying to be like Darth Vader. Now, I wasn't really cool with this new baddie at first, but as soon as I saw somebody shoot a laser at him and he stops it with the Force, the laser blast in midair, I just thought that was awesome. Which is something new that I have never seen in a Star Wars film before. But I also think that this character is kind of a big coward in a way. He tries so hard to be like Darth Vader, but at the same time, he's very terrified of it too. But all in all, I think he's a pretty decent villain. And as for our other new main protagonist, her name is Rey, played by Daisy Ridley. Never before have I seen a woman take on the lead role in a Star Wars film before, and Daisy Ridley nails it. And as for the comebacks, most of the original characters who we grew up with, and they're integrated into the story so well, just like in the original films. Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Kenny Baker as R2-D2, and last but certainly not least, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. I could just jump for joy and scream with delight to see all my favorite characters returning in the roles which they were born to play. But since I'm all grown up now, I'm going to keep it cool. Seriously. The new little character, the BB-8 droid, was also a pretty cool addition to this film too. Just like R2-D2. He actually has a character. And for all the classic fight sequences, the lightsaber battles, the TIE fighters between the X-Wings, man, it's overload. This movie delivered exactly what I wanted, and I am so glad that all the hype finally paid off. And something which I have never seen in a Star Wars film before, real acting. You suffer with them, you feel for these characters, that's what's just so great. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens is one of the best films of the year in my opinion. It's a great reboot to this franchise. So I will give it an 8.5 out of 10. So what do you think Disney is going to do next with the next chapter, and how are they going to go through with it? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and may the Force be with you.